Sabah is a place of outstanding natural beauty. Its ancient rainforests and many endemic creatures make for a unique and magnificent ecosystem. But it is the richest of Sabah's reefs that make it truly beautiful and world-renowned. Nestled in the north part of Malaysian Borneo, Sabah spans 3 seas: the South China Sea, the Sulu Sea, and the Sulawesi Sea. These seas contain the largest concentration of coral reefs in Malaysia. This marine nursery of the seas harbors 75% of the world's coral species and more than 3,000 species of reef fish. This makes Sabah one of the most diverse marine regions on the planet. These reef fish, however, are now symbolic of the threats to the region's most important marine resources, and with it, the livelihood of more than 120 million people. Sabah is now one of the main exporters of reef fish in Southeast Asia. It is this incessant demand for reef fish that has contributed to the unsustainable harvesting which is devastating the reef ecosystem. The reef's most sought-after resources are species of groupers and hammerhead wrasse. The small-scale fishermen are the backbone of this industry. They belong to small local communities and often live below the poverty line. These fishers use hook and line or fish traps to bring in their catch. The average size of captured fish has decreased. Catch per unit effort has dropped and fishermen have to travel further and further out to sea for fish. Fishermen are having to resort to more extreme and dangerous capture methods, which contribute directly to habitat destruction. Fish bombing or dynamite fishing is used to collect bait for hook and line methods, as well as to provide food for fish held in grow-out cages. This destructive fishing practice devastates large areas of reef. The widespread use of sodium cyanide also causes much damage to reef. Cyanide fishing stunts the fish and makes it easier to catch the desired targeted high-value species. The cyanide solution is squirted in front of large fish or into reef crevices, and the coral is then broken to retrieve the stunned animals. This kills larvae, smaller fishes, and the coral reefs themselves are bleached by even the smallest exposure to the cyanide. Coral reefs degraded in this way can take over 50 years to recover. Once caught, the live reef fish are moved to holding pens to await export. Any undersized fish are held in grow-out pens where they are fed until they reach optimal size. From the holding pens, the live fish are distributed to 2 main markets. High-value species are packed for export overseas, whilst other fish, mainly snapper, grouper and sea bass, are distributed to local restaurants. The demand for the live reef fish trade is still growing, and with the continued development of Sabah as a prime tourist destination, the government has already pledged its support to this highly profitable industry. Since January 2010, there has been a ban on the export of hammerhead wrasse.
WWF Malaysia bought back more than 800 tails of hammerhead wrasse from live reef fish traders and cage operators across Sabah. This effort is in support of the state government's export ban. These fish are subsequently released to undisclosed marine protected areas all over Sabah.
Despite this ban on export, local sale and consumption of this endangered species still continues. However, Sabah now faces a dilemma. The continuous exploitation of marine resources threatens to destroy the habitats and the very species which the live reef fish trade depends upon. Already, it is becoming increasingly obvious that current fishing levels are not sustainable. By targeting key predator species such as hammerhead wrasse, the live reef fish trade again threatens the resilience of reef ecosystems. Without the reef and its inhabitants, the live reef fish trade cannot continue. It is in the interest of all fishermen, cage owners, exporters, restaurant owners, and consumers to conserve and protect the very ecosystem that provide them with their livelihoods. The success of a sustainable live reef fish trade depends upon a strong management plan which is enforced throughout the area. Minimum fish sizes must be established and endangered fish fully protected. Full-cycle aquaculture is one of the sustainable answers to the live reef fish trade's problems. Fish fry are produced entirely in hatcheries and held in cages until they reach market size. With proper management, aquaculture has the potential to remove much of the pressure on wild fish stocks, allowing them to rejuvenate and ensuring their long-term survival. The live reef fish trade is of great importance to Sabah, providing employment and income to millions of people. By shifting to more environmentally sound methods, the opportunity exists to both protect reefs as well as to expand this lucrative industry.
The live reef fish trade is currently threatening Sabah's reefs. However, the consumers are making a difference. All over Sabah and the Coral Triangle region, consumers are choosing to consume sustainably caught fish and farmed fish. They are avoiding endangered species and saving the reef while enjoying the bounties.
Everyone can do their part, and everyone's choices can make a difference to protecting the reefs and thus the live reef fish trade industry itself. If we don't protect the reefs, there will be no live reef fish trade. We can all decide responsibly what we consume. Demand to know where and how the fish you choose to eat were caught. Avoid cyanide-caught fish. Avoid consuming undersized and therefore juvenile fish. These juvenile fish have not yet reached sexual maturity and have therefore not had a chance to reproduce. The fishing and eating of these undersized fish is especially damaging to the reef's ecosystem. Choose to not consume endangered species such as hammerhead wrasse. The SOS Seafood Guide will help you easily make your selection and let you know which fish species to avoid. Always choose farmed or sustainably caught fish. These changes will be the preservation of the reefs and fish life for the future. Whilst the live reef fish trade is here to stay, it must become a model for the sustainable development of the reef. We all have a role to play. It is our duty to make responsible choices and ensure the survival of the coral reef ecosystem and the live reef fish trade.